swelling, headache or a rash, asthma, colitis, fatigue, or gas. What will today's symptom be? My loopy life with lupus. Hi everyone. So it is now day 14 of Lupus Awareness Month. And today I am just going to be sharing with you guys an article from Lupus Ontario's newsletter that they put out quarterly. And it's about a study that was done on lupus genes, and more specifically men with lupus. As I've mentioned before, the majority of people with lupus are women, but men do get lupus as well. And basically, this was a study that was trying to show that men require more lupus genes to develop lupus. So I'm just going to quickly read it, and just so that you guys have this information. Particularly anyone with lupus will probably find this interesting as well as other people, hopefully. So it says, lupus is thought to develop due to an interaction between genetic susceptibility and environmental triggers. Previous studies have identified a number of genes referred to as lupus susceptibility genes, the presence of which are thought to increase the likelihood of developing lupus. Importantly, lupus is about 9 times more common in women than men. This increased susceptibility may be made possible, at least in part, due to differences related to hormones and sex chromosomes. However, to what extent these sex differences contribute to the development of lupus is largely unknown. So the researchers that did this, they hoped to learn about the degree to which sex-specific genetic differences contribute to the susceptibility to developing lupus. They also investigated the possible sex-related differences in levels of anti-double-stranded DNA antibodies between men and women with lupus. They studied 3,936 people with lupus, 3,592 were females, and 344 were males, as well as 3,491 healthy people, of which 2,340 females were involved and 1,151 males of European descent were studied. I'm not sure why they just chose European descent, but whatever. The study was conducted in the following way. Genetic samples were processed according to strict quality guidelines to determine the frequency of small but important changes in 18 known lupus susceptibility genes found on non-sex chromosomes, portions of DNA, in both men and women with and without lupus. Based on differences from this analysis, including a subset of genetic samples, 2,982 women and 287 men with lupus, a genetic risk was calculated for the lupus patients in a sex-specific manner. So what did researchers find? The initial studies showed that changes in 10 of 18 lupus susceptibility genes in men and 15 of the 18 in women were found to be significantly different between lupus patients and healthy people. 3 of the 18 genes did not meet these criteria, were not associated with lupus in the current study, and were thus excluded from further analysis. Comparison of the frequency of changes in the 18 lupus susceptibility genes between men and women with lupus indicated that 4 of them differed significantly in a sex-specific fashion. 2 of these genes are found in human leukocyte antigen, HLA, region, hereafter referred to as HLA genes. and 2 are found outside of the HLA region, hereafter called non-HLA genes. The HLA genes encode for proteins that are essential for proper functioning of the immune system and help to elicit powerful and specific immune responses. Interestingly, the frequency of the 2 HLA genes plus one of the non-HLA genes, IRF5, a gene involved in the interferon pathway, which is important in the pathogenesis of lupus, was significantly greater in men than in women with lupus. Only one of the 4 genes of interest here, one of the non-HLA genes, a gene of unknown function, was significantly greater in frequency in women than in men. Importantly, the frequency of these 3 genes did not differ between men and women without lupus. No significant sex-related differences were found in levels of anti-dsDNA between men and women with lupus. Further statistical comparisons showed that the frequency of changes in the 4 aforementioned lupus susceptibility genes were not associated with differences in disease severity, including kidney involvement and decreased blood platelets as indicators of disease severity in men or women with lupus. Comparisons of sex-specific differences in genetic risk showed that men with lupus require, on average, a greater cumulative genetic load of lupus susceptibility genes than women in order to develop lupus. What were the limitations of the study? The study participants were all of European descent, so it is unknown whether the results are applicable to other populations of people with lupus. In addition, the current study did not address any environmental contributions to the development of lupus in patients studied, nor a possible gender-specific difference in possible environmental contributions. So, what do the results mean for you? The results indicate that men need to inherit a greater number of lupus susceptibility genes than women in order to develop lupus. And since the genes analyzed in the study were only genes outside of the sex chromosomes, the findings suggest that sex differences in lupus susceptibility genes are at least partially related to factors beyond sex chromosomes and hormonal differences. These results help to explain, at least in part, why fewer men get lupus than women. So I hope you found that interesting. I know it's a little confusing when they're talking about the different types of genes, and they have all these like number, letter names. But all in all, it's just kind of explaining a little bit as to why, like they say, why fewer men get lupus than women. And interestingly enough, when I went to the Lupus annual general meeting, they were talking about men and lupus as well. And they were saying that another thing that they found is, everyone, male and female, everyone has male hormones and female hormones. So like women have higher levels of estrogen and some low levels of testosterone. And men have more testosterone and they also have some levels of estrogen. And what they kind of also found is that some men that develop lupus have more estrogen. So definitely, hormones also play a factor as well as the genes. So I find that really interesting. I hope you did too. So that's it for this video. I hope that you found it useful. And don't forget, once more, to check out my fundraising efforts. I will put all the links in the description below. And thank you so much to those who have sponsored me already. and have purchased lupus awareness bracelets that I'm making. It really means a lot to me to see my fundraising efforts being supported, and Lupus Awareness Month is very important. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing the walk this year. I'm hoping for nice weather. We've been having some nicer weather lately. It's finally warming up. I think winter is finally over, thank goodness, because this winter was like never ending. It really was. So it's nice to finally see the nice weather happening. And I'm just really excited. There's a lot coming up. This weekend is a long weekend. And I'm going to be getting together with some friends, hopefully to see a movie. I've got crop night on Saturday. And then the following weekend is going to be my 5-year wedding anniversary with Alex. We are going to Ottawa. Neither one of us have ever been to Ottawa, which is weird because we live pretty close to it, and it is like the capital of Canada, but we've never been there. So we're looking forward to that. So next week is going to be a short work week for me because I'll have Monday off and Friday off. So, and I also have half of Tuesday off because I'm going to the lupus clinic. So, that'll be interesting. And then the following weekend will be the walk for lupus. So I'm really excited about that. I think my family and friends should be receiving those little packets I put together this week if they haven't already. So fingers crossed. I'm really hoping that some family and friends will join us on the walk. And yeah, thanks so much for all the support, guys, and the wonderful positive comments. It really makes it worthwhile what I'm doing this month. It's been really hard to get a video out every day. I've been kind of burning the candle at both ends, and I hope I don't end up paying for it, but because I've been staying up late editing the videos and getting them uploaded for the next morning. So, but I'm trying to get rest during the day. So, yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.